So we're here with Frost. Let's just start off with, because I know you're Raven, you're Frost. What name do you prefer?
Frost. The story behind the name Raven is just really, it's on a Facebook name, because it was a friend who passed away. He was actually murdered, and he used to call me Raven. So it's a name that's near and dear to my heart, but it's not really what everyone else calls me. It was just what Andy called me. And so Frost is the name everyone else calls me.
So what's your number one frustration working with artists?
Technology. Technology, definitely, because everyone is all over the place. What they know about how to use a computer, how to use their phone, or how to use Facebook, and I've got a varied background, and IT is in that background. So really trying to get people who are on the artsy spectrum to kind of wrap their head around using technology and bringing awareness of themselves and their marketing techniques and things like that into like social media like Facebook and Instagram and things like that will really get them out there and get them seen. It's very scary for some of them, so I have to hold hands a lot, and I'm okay with that.
Now you come from this as an artist, so how do you get inside the head of an artist? Like, you know, you're telling them how to do Facebook. Do you think you're a little more patient and sensitive because you've been in their shoes too?
I was a therapist for over 15 years. And so I learned a lot of patience during those years. And honestly, it's not so much patience I don't think that I have to have with them. It's more, I try to start where they are and to understand their starting point and where they are and where they need to go from. And that's how I did therapy also. That's how I worked with my clients. I just think that's probably, it kind of transcends patience, because you start in a whole different place, in a whole different mindset. You have to put yourself where the person is.
So what's the number one mistake artists do on social media?
They don't promote themselves. They create a page, they put their stuff out there, and they go, okay, everyone's gonna see me, I'm so awesome. 3 weeks go by, they get maybe 6 followers and 4 likes or whatever, and then they're like, maybe I'm not awesome, and they start to doubt themselves. And then a month goes by and they haven't made a sale, they don't really have a lot of followers, and then they really start to doubt themselves. And then what happens is I see people fall into like this black hole of doubt where they're like, why aren't people liking me, and why isn't this getting more attention? And well, you're not promoting yourself. You have to put yourself out there. You have to make yourself known. You can't just create a page and leave it there. You have to share it. You have to get your friends to share it. You have to hashtag yourself, to get yourself on Instagram. Have yourself invited to art sites by approaching those art sites. You really have to make yourself known.
And when you say make yourself known, is that strictly Facebook? What do you consider like the top social media for artists?
Honestly, it's probably Instagram, but Instagram isn't going to get you sales. Instagram is going to get you noticed. It's going to get you noticed by other artists, and it's also going to get you noticed by people outside of the art community by the way that you hashtag your work. And it sounds really probably sounds kind of trivial, but the way that you use a hashtag and the words that you use to draw people in and see your work. Like, for instance, I always put hashtag motorcycle or hashtag Harley Davidson because I love bikes. And so I figure I like my art, so people in that community, there's probably someone else who's going to like my art. And also I always do hashtag animal rescue or hashtag the breed of dog that I've painted, because then it brings those people in from those communities as well to see your work.
So does that kind of speak to like buyers? Like sometimes maybe even buyers don't know about art collecting, but they know they like dogs or motorcycles.
Yes.
So do you try to tap into existing groups for special interests?
Exactly. That's exactly what I do. So on Facebook, I join interest groups of the subject matter that I paint. There are also things that I'm interested in because I primarily only paint things that I'm interested in. And I've been blessed in that way that my demographic is a demographic for things that I love. So the demographics, I should say. So, I get people who, huge animal lovers. I get really interesting landscapes that I do. Like I did the Golden Gate Bridge, is one of my favorite paintings that I've ever done. Different travel sites, like I did one for Julie Clam. I did her dog on a beach in Spain. So that was really interesting to me. I've never been to Spain, but now I've painted a beach in Spain, So
and by doing that, like, what's an unexpected way that's led to a sale of your work?
Almost everything I do is on commission. I don't get a lot of free time to just paint things that I want to paint. I'd have to say what's led to sales of my work on the internet has been donating things to rescue auctions for different breeds and for different causes for animals. So people see my stuff, they like my stuff, they don't win it in the auctions, so they contact me.
Okay. So, say an artist wants to do that, but they think, oh, I have a full-time job, I paint on the time. What do you say to the artist that says they don't have time for donating or volunteering or getting involved in outside groups?
You're not living. You're just not living your life. If you're that busy and you're that dedicated to your job and you can't take the thing that you love and you can't take it and share it with other people who are going to be your audience, as well as you're donating something to a cause that other people love, sharing your love with them, they're sharing your love with you, they're sharing their love with you. You're just not living if you can't share like that. And you really have to step outside of the clock, break that clock, get rid of the clock, stop putting yourself on the clock every day, and really open up your life to new opportunity. I've met so many of my actual personal friends through the rescue groups that I've worked with, and they're phenomenal people, big, huge hearts, and it's led to personal growth as well as artistic growth.
Say you're coaching an artist and they don't have a cause or a group like that, would you encourage them to find one?
Well, you like something. Let's say you're an artist and you love to read. Well, then get involved with a literacy program for inner city kids, or donate something to create an auction for something that's going to generate, I don't know, textbooks or extra books for a school, maybe for children's summer reading program or something. You have to get creative. Everyone has something that they like outside of what they normally do, and a lot of times it's something that you're not even participating in. You may say you have a love for architecture, but you don't really know how to get involved in it. Then join some architecture groups online and say you're a photographer, and then you can be like, hey, guess what? I took a picture of, I don't know, I can't think of something.
The Eiffel Tower?
The Eiffel Tower when I was in Paris, and here it is, and and then people will see it, and you're expressing your love, and you're also showing off your work at the same time.
What's the biggest misconception about art buyers? Like, a lot of people think you have to be very wealthy to afford art. Do you think people are surprised that, oh, this person I kind of dismissed actually loves my work and can afford it?
Absolutely. I have to say that's probably actually the first thing that I would say was a misconception, because I actually find people who are just average income will spend the money to get something that they're really going to truly love and cherish and put in their home. And I find people who have more money to spend have a tendency to be a lot
stingier?
No, they wassail more. Like, they go back and forth. They want it, but they don't want it. They're not sure. I don't know. Maybe it's because they have more choices.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure. But I find the average person is really the one who's going to spend the money.
Mm-hmm. Well, on social media, besides the groups, is there a way to target potential buyers for your art?
Absolutely. Again, it's all about Facebook is really where you build that. You get on Facebook. You want to join as many interest groups that would be interested in what you do. Like for me, it's dogs. For the most part, I belong to a lot of dog groups, a lot of dog rescue groups.
So say you join the dog group, is there like an etiquette or a protocol? Like, how do you, besides commenting on the topics, say, oh, by the way, I've got this new painting for $250.
Oh yeah, I know.
Here's a PayPal link. I mean, how do you finesse that without turning off the group?
Yeah, you don't do that. So, I build relationships with people because the type of art that I do is very personal. I do a lot of memorials. I actually create the boxes that the pet is going to be put into, after the pet passes away for quite a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Where I do the memorial painting that's going to be on their wall if that pet has passed away. So I have a genuine interest in the groups that I'm in. I have a genuine interest in the types of dogs of the groups that I'm joining. And it's just a social thing where you build these relationships, and then occasionally I'll just throw one out there. I'll be like, hey, look what I just did for Betty.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't advertise it as a sale. I just put it up as an example so people can see what I do.
And then they tend to contact you
Mm-hmm.
after they see that.
Message me, yeah.
And do you think that's the best position to be in for an artist, where you're not asking, but the people are coming to you?
Yeah, I think when you're too aggressive, it gives the wrong message. It's a fine balance. You really have to be careful about how you tread.
Do you think it makes them look insincere, like they're just in that group to drum up sales?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's not the only reason I'm there. I don't have a Frenchie, but I belong to every Frenchie group on Facebook because I love Frenchies. They're beautiful, they're amazing, they're adorable, but they're expensive to maintain because they have a lot of health issues.
Okay.
So I will never be able to. I don't like to say never. I will probably never be able to afford $3,000 to $6,000 a year in vet bills. So I will not own an animal that I know that I can't maintain properly. So I look at everybody else's Frenchies, and then I ask for permission to paint people's animals, and I have fun using those animals as subjects when I get free time to actually do things outside of my commissions.
Well, since lately you've been consulting for artists in Port Orchard, what do they bring to you as their biggest, not concerns, but if they're just kind of lost thinking, where do I start? How do you kind of get them grounded to start a plan where they can, do it on their own after you consult with them?
Again, I have to start where they are. So I'm working with an author right now, and I'm going to use him as the perfect example because he already had a YouTube page, he already had his Instagram page, he already had his Facebook page, but he had, instead of having not enough, he had too much.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to reel him in from having 15 Facebook pages to 2 Facebook pages, and and make sure his Instagram page was being used the way that it should be used, and not just there with his stuff thrown on it, but actually highlighting the things that would bring people in and interest them in him. Because with authors, it's different than an artist. With an artist, you're already visual. With an author, people want to get to know that person. They want to know something about that person. They want to know what's going on internally. They want to know their process. So for an author, it's really important to create the visual. So Instagram is creating that visual for that author. A YouTube channel is creating that visual for that author. And people want to be able to put that face with that name, with that story, and they want to understand the process. So for him, it was all about cleaning up his webpage and putting things on his YouTube page so there was something there for people to look at. Streamlining his Facebook, and then when I get done with all that, then we can take him to the next level, which is promotion.
Mm-hmm. With so much competition on the internet, not just with other authors or other artists, just everything. Because when you have a page, you're competing with everything on the internet.
Absolutely.
What is a good way to convince your artist or author or your client to maybe just put a little fear into them to think, you know what, people will probably dismiss your page or go right past it or not linger on it? I mean, is it good to instill a little fear? Like, look, you have one chance with these people,
No.
and if you lose them, you lose them.
No fear.
No fear?
No. I don't believe in obstacles.
Okay.
I don't believe in fear. Not when you're trying to do something like this. You can't see obstacles. You can't say, is everybody gonna like my stuff? Because no, everybody's not gonna like your stuff. There's probably gonna be, I don't know, 10% of the people that you reach out to will probably like your stuff. But look at how many people there are on the internet. You know, I mean, we're talking about a vast amount of people. The internet isn't just, you know, your next door neighbors and the people downtown. We're talking, you know, worldwide potential exposure. So, again, it comes back to that, don't fall into the black hole. You know, you gotta stay positive, you gotta stay motivated, but the only person that's gonna keep your forward momentum is you. As soon as you stop your momentum, you know, you may be here and your stuff might be here because you've been pushing it forward, but as soon as you stop, it's gonna be back here and you're gonna have to get back behind it again and start pushing it forward. So you're gonna have to go backwards in order to go forward.
Do you believe in that quote? And let me see if I can remember it right. Someone said if you can get 10,000 fans, I think it was 10,000, maybe it's just 1,000, and then just create new work for them, like people who are guaranteed to buy your new book or your new project or whatever, that you can make a full-time living. So it's not just about big numbers, but small, faithful numbers.
It is small, faithful numbers. I'd say that my following is probably 800 total, an actual following, and that's not always reflected in your likes, in your numbers, in your Instagram. People will follow you that you don't even know. I call them lurkers because you know, I've had people show up that know more about me than I'm like, I didn't even know you were paying attention, you know. But yeah, repeat sales are the basis of my business now, and it's really heartwarming because people come back and they're like, oh, I give this to my cousin or I give this to my daughter, and now, you know, I need, like right now I have a lady who needs 9 paintings. She's giving them all the different members of her family, and for her to come back after 1 painting and then 2 paintings and then 3 paintings, and all of a sudden she was like, I need 9. You know, and that books me out for not 3 months, but that books me out for a good chunk of time. 9 paintings is a decent amount of money, you know. So yeah, repeat business is really important, and you can make a decent living off of it.
Okay.
It's the marketing, it's the old marketing saying, if you have one person who doesn't like you and they complain, they're going to tell everybody that they know. But if you have 25 people that know you and like you, then they're going to tell one person, and they're going to tell one person, and they're going to tell one person. And that's pretty much, I find, really it's the way it works.
So a lot of good word of mouth.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll wrap it up with 3 last questions.
3 last questions.
Just so we know there's an end in sight.
Okay.
But one is, say someone wanted to hire you as a consultant.
Uh-huh.
How would they approach you?
It's really easy. You can just really just contact me on Facebook. It's Raven Helton. It's a picture of me looking really silly in front of one of my paintings. And then my business page on Facebook is Fetching Faces by Frost. My email is also fetchingfacesbyfrost@gmail.com.
And to clarify, they can live out of town. Like, you can do this remotely with them?
Absolutely.
Okay. Say someone we were talking about Germany earlier. Say someone from Germany, and that either you speak German or they speak English, or they have an interpreter, but say someone, you know, from far away does a remote.
Right.
Is it like a webcam? Is it all emails back and forth? What's the flow of work like?
I use Messenger a lot, and I also have a webcam. So I can Skype, or I can just talk to them on Messenger, because Messenger has the video option. People like to do that. A lot of it's just through straight messages and pictures. It just really depends on what they need help with. But I mean, like a website, I can just go look at it and I can send you, okay, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to not do, and
Like you start with kind of an assessment of where they're at on social media,
exactly.
and then you can do a little research and then a little one-on-one webcam face-to-face.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I think a lot of people assume you can't do these things remotely.
Oh, no, absolutely. Everything can be done online. Yeah, almost everything can be done online. But yeah, when it comes to marketing, absolutely. And I see we have the famous internet cat who's joining us right now.
That's good, because if your art, if it appeals to cat lovers, hey. Well, I think that was 2 questions, so this will be the wrap up. And since I know you're a positive person, with the internet the way it is in 2018, and if a lot of artists aren't necessarily technical people,
right?
I don't know if it's right brain, left brain, or analytical versus creative, but with all the technology coming out here, what's the one positive thing that you think any artist could do, regardless of their experience level or computer experience, to just start doing right away and show some results pretty quickly?
Ooh.
Big question.
Yeah, there's no quick results. I'd say 90-day turnaround for most folks.
Okay.
And really, it's all about, if you don't know how to use Facebook, then get a friend or contact me, or, I'm not expensive. I'm not in this to make a lot of money. I really want to see art come back, because I feel like art is dying in our society. Is dying culturally. I really want to see a movement to bring art back to communities and to schools and to homes, and just see it be reborn. Kind of like the phoenix, come back from the ashes. We're not quite to the ashes yet, but we're getting pretty darn close to the, and hopefully art is going to make a rebirth. And I really want to help artists be able to compete with like art from like Home Goods and art from like Walmart, because it's not really art. You're not getting something that's original, and you're spending $75 or $50 when you could pay an artist $50 or $75. And so I have to say that if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to get started, find somebody who can get you on social media, and make sure that you share that with everyone that you possibly can. Get business cards with it on there, put them up in businesses. That's how I got started. I put mine on pegboards at every business I went to. I put my cards just everywhere, and with an email, Facebook page, and my name and contact number, and it works. And don't be afraid to walk in somewhere and say, hey, hi, I'm this person, I'm an artist, and this is what I do, and here's what I got, and take your portfolio, and show off.
So even in the age of internet, you still recommend face-to-face, just...
When it comes to businesses, absolutely.
Yeah. So a combination of the two, the best of social media with some traditional face-to-face.
Yep.
Well, I'll give you the last word and put you on the spot. So I like what you just said. So if you could sum it up, what would the Raven Frost mission statement be?
To create a new love for art in our country, and potentially worldwide, to give art a rebirth. That would absolutely be it. And the way to get there, I think, is to promote the small artist and the unknown artist and the unknown author, and just really band together as a community and bring everybody up so that we can be seen and be heard. So.
Well, I'm sold. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah, wasn't what I was expecting.